I recently read an article, the top 10 hardest video games, and they were all new games for new systems, and they were just trying to sell games, so I want to give you guys an honest top 10 hardest video games. Here we go. That's right, the classic Metroid. I don't think anyone can argue that they spent many Saturdays and Sundays with bleeding thumbs trying to beat this gym. Just trying to find something to get past the point you're stuck on. That was hard enough. But the fact that there was no one there to tell you anything, no hints, no gimmicks, nothing. Just a straight map, you had to walk through, you get stuck, here you are, stuck. You don't have the ability to even get past this point, and there are many points in the game like that. So instead, you would just scream your head off, wrap your thumbs up in some band-aids, and keep going until finally, one day, you persevered and found the end of the game, in which there was a huge surprise that Samus was a woman, and everybody was just blown away by that. Oh Lord, a woman! Oh, it's a woman in a bathing suit. Yeah, no wonder she couldn't jump. That was the first thing I thought anyway. We should have guessed it was a woman. But they did try to give you some help with passwords since you couldn't save the game. Nah, you get passwords. Number 9 is Altered Beast, and this bad boy started out in the arcades, in which you would go in with a pocket full of quarters and leave with a face full of tears because you spent every quarter you had and probably didn't even get past the 3rd or 4th level on the thing. It was a quarter muncher. This game was just created just to eat your quarters and make you cry. I saw kids crying all the time, leaving, and it'd just be a puddle of water there, and it was either tears or piss, I don't know which one. But they just loved it. They loved it. They kept popping the quarters in anyway. And their parents hated it. I've seen kids begging for quarters. And later on, it came out on the Sega Genesis, and then you could actually sit through it until you beat it finally. But you had to just sit there forever and ever, just mashing away, hoping to God that you make it. And that's all you can do with Altered Beast. For some reason, you just wanted to see what monster came next, and what you evolve into next, so you kept going until finally you persevered and beat it. The game that started out all, Doom. First-person shooters were starting to get popular here with this game, and these guys led with Wolfenstein, and then came on later with some Doom action. And there really wasn't much direction in this bad boy. You just had to find buttons and levers and keep running, and hopefully you had enough ammo. And if you didn't, luckily you could punch and try to punch your way through a bunch of demons, which, as we all know from horror movies, doesn't work that well. And you just keep trying and trying. But later on, they did make Doom 3, which is, in my opinion, one of the best games ever made. It does have direction, it has a great story, and it's scary as hell. And that is what you want from Doom. It's still hard. Doom gets hard in the later levels. The first levels, you know, you're shooting stuff, you're having a good time, and you get down to the later levels, and it's hell on Mars. You're just fighting and fighting tooth and nail, trying to get to the end of this thing, and if you persevered all the way through it, congratulations. Oh, Battletoads. How many times did I rent you, sweet Battletoads? Not much has changed since back when old Battletoads was made. As we can still see, he's just sitting around watching porn on the computer, just like we do today. But the game and the action in the game has also carried forward to today, as it led the way for many action games. But it follows in kind of a Double Dragon, Ninja Turtles style. And it starts off real simple. These stages are real simple, you know, you're going along just fine, and then all of a sudden, pow! Right into the sweat of the action. Just right in there. And it doesn't even give you a warning either. You're going along on this stage, and then you get in a ride, you're like, oh, a riding part, oh, it's great. This is one of the hardest parts in any game ever. This part will make you throw your controller. I don't know how many controllers I had to buy just to try and beat this bad boy. You get here, you're either going to slam down, slam up, or you'll jump at the right moment and you are going to make it. And then you jump at the right moment again, and here we go, we're going to make it. Yeah, no problem there, no problem, we've made it, we're doing great, everything's fine, and we just keep going, and oh yeah, boom, dead. Here at number 6 we have the original Nintendo Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And in this game, Konami would pack the screen with as many enemies as they possibly could fit in that the Nintendo could handle. They'd pack so many in that the bottom of the screen would actually be flashing because the system couldn't even contain it. The system could barely even handle it. And they'd just keep packing it anyway. They did not care. If any of you out there has beaten this game and can send out a speedrun video of this game, I'll give you the Jimmy Woods Award. That's a Knuckle Justice Award, named after the guy in Wizard, the movie Wizard from back in the 80s. I'll give you that award if you can send in a speedrun video. Just reply to this video with a speedrun video of it. And I'll do an award show later to award that video, because this game is incredibly frustrating. See how the bottom of the screen's flashing there? They just pack the enemies in. Once you kill enough, the system can handle it again. Oh, there it goes again. It's crazy. But if you can do it, if you can do a speedrun, you can send it to knucklejustice@gmail.com too. Or just send it in and you can get an award. Street Fighter 2010. It's an old Nintendo game that you may have never even heard of. But it starts off hard because you gotta read a whole novel here. It just keeps going. Oh, Ken, he had no interest in the frontier. It just keeps on blah, 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 until you finally get to the game. And even after this part, this chick shows up, and she's talking, and you gotta read all that, and you finally get through all that, and you get into the game, and here it is. And everything on this screen here you can grab when you jump. You'd think that would be cool, but really it just messes you up while you're trying to play. It's hard to hit the enemies because they're either flying, most of them are flying, or jumping around like jackrabbits, and your shots and your lasers and everything are kind of slow. You can upgrade the guy later on, but it just never changes. It's always frustrating and always hard. You're hunting down these guys, and it's just hard and frustrating. It's a band-aid on the thumbs game for sure. I don't think there was any doubt that Metal Gear was going to be on a top 10 hardest list. This original Nintendo classic, that spawned many remakes, is definitely one of the top 10 hardest games ever made. You play as Snake, this super soldier, and you drop down in the middle of the jungle to infiltrate an evil cartel, an evil operation going on, that are trying to build the ultimate weapon, the Metal Gear. Now, even though he's a super soldier, there's so many problems with his controls, it's not even funny. He'll just freeze. You'll be walking, he'll just freeze. Super soldier that can't walk. He freezes, you gotta fight with the controls while you're fighting the enemies and try to get away. And also, he doesn't really know where he's going. So you're toggling through a radio to talk to a guy to try to figure out puzzles, and fighting off enemies, and fighting the controls of the game itself. And Nintendo, you know, they didn't have much mercy back in these days. They didn't give you much. So you started out as a super soldier with absolutely no weapons. You had to find everything on your own and just somehow, some way persevere without killing yourself. Awesome game, top 10. The classic Nintendo Ninja Gaiden. This game was made at a time when frantic, fast-paced action games just shouldn't have been made. The system could barely even handle it. There were times when it would slow and drag from the processor, and the system just couldn't handle it. But you had to keep going anyway. You also had to fight controls in this game, as you can see. He does have the classic ninja flip, which guarantees you that he is definitely a certified ninja and no player, no actor. And you go on through and you keep trying to persevere at the hordes of enemies that keep coming. If you walk off the screen, any enemy you just killed, he'll be back. He'll be back with a vengeance. Here you had to fight some of the controls, as he grabbed the wall when you didn't want him to. If you jump backwards, it's a slow flip. It's not as good as the front. If I'd have grabbed the ladder there, I would have lived. But if you jump down the hole, you die. And they would place enemies in the perfect place just to kill you. And it would totally piss you off because you couldn't climb up the wall or do anything. You just had to try to hop up the wall. And as the game goes along, it gets even harder, and they place enemies in even better strategic positions to make you just frustrated as hell. Oh, I know what you're thinking. Oh, no, he didn't pull old Kid Icarus out of the vault, back in the vault of old games that everyone's forgotten and time wanted to forget. Old Kid Icarus is one of the hardest games there ever have been. This game is crazy. As you get further along, there's just enemies all over the screen full of enemies. And old Kid Icarus, he's not the fastest archer in the world. You know, he may be dead on accurate with the bow, but you can't shoot a million guys at once with this guy. He is slow, and he can't jump. Sometimes you hit the button, and he just, screw it, I'm not jumping, my legs are tired. Oh, my legs are tired. And the wings don't do much. Also, if you want to buy stuff to upgrade your guy in this game, you better be there all day, because these guys have a monopoly on the whole world of Kid Icarus, and they sell stuff at huge inflatable rates. So it's really hard to buy anything. You just got to keep fighting and keep trying till your thumbs fall off, basically, to beat this bad boy, as it is definitely one of the top 10 hardest. Oh yeah, Super Mario Brothers. And I'm not talking about the original, I'm talking about the fan-made ROM of Super Mario Brothers, which is undoubtedly the hardest game ever made, and is sitting on the #1 top 10 hardest games ever made list for Knuckle Justice here, because it is incredibly hard. Even the first stage will piss you off. The very first stage, if you can get through the frustration from the first stage. As a matter of fact, there's a video on YouTube that's made wild internet fame called Mario Frustration, and if you want a good laugh, go ahead and check it out, because this game is so frustrating, it is just unbelievable. Unreal how hard this game is. This ROM's been passed around the internet like a new boy in prison, but it is awesome. And if you want to try it out and you want to call yourself a real gamer, then go ahead and beat this bad boy and send in a speedrun video of it as a reply to this video or to knucklejustice@gmail.com, and you will get the Best Gamer of the Year award presented by me on the Knuckle Justice Award Show coming up for Best Gamers. You're going to get that, but also you'll get to brag to everybody that you beat this game. I don't know if I've ever seen anyone even beat it. If you can do a speed run of it, you'll get the award. And if I get multiple entries of a speed run on this bad boy, we'll go by the highest scored speed run. It is incredibly hard, incredibly frustrating, and I cannot even believe that anyone's made it through a couple levels on this thing without just slamming their controller through the floor or choking themselves out with their own cord from the controller, because it's crazy frustrating. And this is actually me playing it, trying to get through the first level here. I tried multiple times, and eventually I had enough for the video, so I didn't do any more. But I'm gonna keep trying and see how far I can get on this thing. Guys, hope you enjoyed the video. We got 2 games on here with a special award, but if you send in speed runs of any game on here, we'll give out awards later on at an award show. Make sure to join up with us on Facebook.com, and I hope you guys have a great day.